Hey guys, what's happening? Sammy here with some post-match reaction after Fulham's 4-1 win over Barnsley yesterday at Craven Cottage, which briefly, very briefly, takes us back to the top of the championship. No doubt by the time you watch this that Bournemouth will have re-overtaken us, but it's nice for now to be back at the top of the pile. It's been a little while since we were, and it's taken us 7 wins in a row to get there, which just shows how much of a gap there really was between ourselves and the Cherries. But it's been a fantastic, fantastic run, and it continued yesterday against Barnsley. And look, yesterday is likely to be, on paper, our easiest match of the season. Barnsley would be bottom of the league if it wasn't for Derby's ridiculous amount of points deductions that they've had. And it was fairly straightforward. I thought Barnsley were fairly courageous in the way they took us on, particularly in the first 20 minutes. I think Palmer for Barnsley should have done a little bit better with the opportunity that he had. He kind of snatched at the chance from the edge of the box. It was a good save from Rodak, but I think in reality, he probably had a little bit more time to take a touch, work into the box, and then really trouble Marek Rodak. And I'm not going to lie, for that first 20 minutes, I was thinking maybe this could be one of those really ugly games where actually it all unravels and Barnsley get more and more confidence as the game goes on. But the first goal just really kills it, doesn't it? And it feels that way for Fulham at the moment at Craven Cottage. If we get a goal up, we're more than likely gonna see it through. And it was a wonderful cross from Kenny Tete to Alexander Mitrovic, a good header from him. Yes, I'm sure a better defence would have marked him a little bit closer, but with the quality of cross, that is extremely, extremely hard to defend. And that's what Kenny Tete can bring you. Look, I know that Dennis can also cross a good ball, and he did it a few times already for Mitrovic this season, but Tete's crossing just seems to be so pinpoint, particularly from those really wide areas. We saw it a couple of times last season, particularly that game against Leeds where he did a couple of fantastic crosses into the box. He also did one in the Carabao Cup against Ipswich last season. We know that Tete's got that in his locker, and it was fantastic to see Kenny Tete back at right back yesterday. Adoy was suspended, so kind of Marcus Silva didn't really have any options there, but I think Kenny Tete would have come back in the side regardless of Dennis's yellow cards, and him and Wilson on the right is a real powerhouse. We saw it earlier in the season, particularly the game against Middlesbrough, where I felt like they linked up fantastically down that right-hand side, and that's such a strength to our bow if we've got that right side of Wilson and Tete, and we'll come on to some of the things that Wilson did later in the match. But yeah, Mitrovic put us in a commanding position, and it wasn't too long until we made it to Fabio Carvalho back on the pitch. I'm really happy to see it. It's a difficult one with Carvalho at the moment. We know that most likely next summer he will be gone, and from everything I've heard, it's not looking positive for him staying at Fulham next year. It really isn't. He's currently looking to get a new agent, as talk of it being George Mendes, his new agent. I think Liverpool seem fairly confident of potentially swinging him next summer, but it's all really up in the air. We don't know what's happening with Fabio Carvalho. It does just feel, though, that his future lies elsewhere. However, I'm of the opinion that if he's happy to play for this club this year, then we should play him. There's no need to make him rot in the reserves. When we have a player of that quality who can get us closer to the goal that we want, which is automatic promotion, and ideally winning the title, if you've got a player of his caliber in the side, then it's a good thing. And there is this hopeful boost that if he is part of a title winning or a promotion winning side, that he might think next year that his best place to play football is Fulham. And I'm sure that is what him and his advisors are thinking at the moment. Just let this season pan out, see where Fulham are next season, see who's going to be in charge. And maybe at that point, you will decide that Fulham is the best place for you. But right now, with Fulham being a championship side, there's no point committing to anything. And it's really nice to see him get back on the score sheet. And we know that if he's in the side, we really, really tick. And Bobby Decordova-Reid might come back in and switch with Carvalho a little bit for that 10 position. But I think we know that Carvalho is a notch above pretty much anyone in this side, and his ceiling is so high. It was a lovely move. There's the dog in the background. Right, that's out. Anyway, we know that Carvalho's a notch above, and it was really nice to see him get a goal yesterday. Moving on to the second half, I kind of thought that Fulham might just see this out at 2-0. We seemed fairly relaxed about everything in the second half. Barnsley weren't really posing too much of a threat. We didn't create a huge amount of opportunities, but it's a really nice move for the third. Great cross from Harry Wilson and finished well by Neeskens Cabano. He seems to be on a mission to prove me wrong of what I said on a podcast a few weeks ago where I said he can't finish, or if he could finish, he would win the Ballon d'Or. Well, they'll start polishing that trophy soon enough for Neeskens. And good performance from him yesterday. He's so effective on that left wing. He seems to be able to just ghost past his man. He did a few elasticos yesterday, which was really enjoyable too. Speaking of skill, the little trickery from Harry Wilson that he did in the second half. There's a video of it going around on Twitter as well, where he does a Dimitar Berbatov around one of the Barnsley players right on the byline, manages to keep the ball in play. The fact that it doesn't end up in a goal is a little bit tragic, in my opinion. Such nice play from Harry Wilson. You know, we talk about Neeskens' magic feet, but Harry Wilson has got that in abundance. And the goal for Barnsley, that was a bit of an unexpected one. Really didn't see us not keeping a clean sheet in that game. Cauley Woodrow really should score from the header he has 4 yards out, hits the post, falls back to Adebayo, and I mean, it's a pretty simple finish. And the first goal that Fulham have conceded since QPR back in October, over a month without conceding a goal for Fulham. And it just made us angry, didn't it? It felt like it pissed us off a little bit. Fulham did a substitution after that point, and on came John Mikel Seri, and it was a couple of minutes, wasn't it, before Fulham then got the fourth. And I genuinely think it only happened because Barnsley scored and we wanted to effectively just show that we can score even more goals. What a little flick from Seri. Beautiful. One of the best assists I've ever seen. We know that Seri has things like that in the locker. We remember the scoop that he did back in the Premier League, which fell to Andre Schürrle away at Brighton. But this one's even better. What a little dink over the top. And then brilliant control and finish from Harry Wilson. Seri is taking the plaudits, rightly so, for such a magic assist. But it's still not easy to do that at full speed, control that down, finish it expertly. And really happy to see Harry Wilson get a goal. I feel like he hasn't maybe got as many goals as you'd expect a player of Harry Wilson's caliber to get, but nice to see him get a goal and an assist yesterday, and richly deserved after a fantastic performance from him on the wing. And then, yeah, we go again against Derby on Wednesday night, another game that on paper that we should be winning. Who knows how Derby are going to respond to this points deduction? It could spur them on to go on some crazy run. Even that probably won't save them, but they might be wanting to prove a point, or it could go completely the opposite way. They might have thrown in the towel, bust-ups and all sorts, and Derby will sink without a trace. I'm going to guess probably the latter, but at this stage, hard to know. Be interesting to see how they get on against Bournemouth, which will probably have finished by the time that you see this video, but definitely really one that Fulham should be taking advantage of again. Before that pretty difficult Preston game away from home, 12:30 kickoff. There's not a huge amount of time between the Derby and the Preston games. If Fulham can get victories in all of these matches, then it really will put us in such a commanding position before that massive Bournemouth game. But not getting carried away. They're two difficult matches, and you know, even if Fulham come away with 4 points out of it, then I would still be relatively happy with how it's going. But whilst this winning run continues, I think we can all just be very, very happy with how everything's panning out at Fulham at the moment. 7 in a row. It's the best winning run since that Tigana side of 00-01. And I don't see any reason why we can't match what they did. If we beat Bournemouth, if we did a winning run until then, it becomes 10. We then have to go to Luton to match the 11. Long way to go. A lot of wins still to accumulate, but I just don't think it's impossible. A lot of things have to go right for us, but I also just don't think it's possible. I think this team is a record-breaking team, and it can do that. So we'll wait and see. But another great one yesterday, and 48 goals for the season. So smug people like me that put the bet on for 100 goals this season are feeling pretty good at the moment. 48 goals in 18 matches is insane. Mitrovic keeps up his scoring record as well. He's now got 21 goals in 18. He's scored in his last 7 consecutive matches as well. The amount of goals seems to be drying up, but the consistency is still there from Mitrovic. And he really could have had another at the end, didn't he? But he unselfishly passed it to Fabio Carvalho, who should have scored, who should have made it 5. But hey, when you're 4-1 up, you can afford to make mistakes like that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this t-shirt, by the way, Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this t-shirt, by the way, we're selling them on the Fulhamish store. Currently, they're sold out, but we're hoping to get some more in stock this week, hopefully by Tuesday. If you buy one, they're lovely. We've got 5 different designs, all kind of unique, different Fulham designs, designed by local Fulham designers called Jozo Collection, who are fantastic, big Fulham fans, and they put together this collection of t-shirts for us. And well, I'm the biggest fan of this. You can buy it on the Fulhamish website. If you go to the shop, you'll find all the links to the t-shirts there. And as I say, they should be back in stock this week. So a perfect little Christmas present if you've got another Fulham fan in your family or one of your friends, or maybe just a little gift for yourself. Definitely worth getting one. Anyway, have a good week. We'll see what happens against Derby. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And come on, you whites.